After almost 3 years of waiting, Warner Bros. Finally dropped the news about The Matrix 5 in April 2024. The announcement wasn't a huge shock, given the franchise's money-making potential, and The Matrix Resurrections had plenty of hints about Warner's big plans for the series. The only information we have so far is that Drew Goddard will be directing, which is a first, since the Wachowski sisters won't be in charge. So let's dive into what we know about the new movie and how The Matrix 5 might finally give us that epic, untold prequel story the franchise has been hinting at. The Matrix 5 has officially been announced, and it's clear the franchise is taking a new direction after The Matrix Resurrections. Released in 1999, the original The Matrix was a groundbreaking film from the Wachowski sisters, capturing pre-millennium anxieties and leaving a lasting mark on sci-fi and action. Its characters, quotes, costumes, and ideas have become iconic. Even though the 2003 sequels, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, didn't quite match the original's impact, the trilogy remains a major milestone in film history. Despite endless rumors about a continuation or reboot, the Wachowskis firmly resisted making a fourth Matrix movie until the inevitable announcement came in 2019. When The Matrix Resurrections premiered in 2021, it didn't meet audience expectations and was a financial flop. The film's ending was open-ended, leaving room for more, and Warner Bros. Has decided to move forward with The Matrix 5. While the movie is still in its early development stages, the big news so far is that Drew Goddard, known for World War Z, will be directing instead of the Wachowskis. As for the cast, it's likely we'll see familiar faces. Neo and Trinity are central to the franchise, so Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are expected to return. Jonathan Groff's Smith is also a strong candidate to reprise his role as the villain. Neil Patrick Harris's Analyst might return, but he probably won't be the main antagonist since he answers to a higher power. Speculation continues, but there has been no official cast. The most likely lineup could include Keanu Reeves as Neo, Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity, Jonathan Groff as Agent Smith, Neil Patrick Harris as the Analyst, Jessica Henwick as Bugs, Priyanka Chopra as Sati, Jada Pinkett Smith as Niobe, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as Morpheus. The Matrix Resurrections ends with Neo and Trinity taking down Neil Patrick Harris's Analyst, but it leaves several plot threads unresolved. Neo and Trinity plan to transform the Matrix into a more positive place, which opens up plenty of future storyline possibilities. Additionally, it's suggested that the Analyst is working for a higher machine power known as the Suits, and there are hints that some human blue pills might have allied with the enemy, setting up potential antagonists for The Matrix 5. However, the most natural continuation seems to involve Jonathan Groff's Agent Smith after teaming up with Neo and Trinity to defeat the Analyst. Smith announces that their uneasy alliance is over and disappears into the night. A roaming Smith could definitely stir up trouble in a reimagined Matrix, making him a likely candidate for the next chapter in the franchise. As for why we think The Matrix 5 might finally dive into that ultimate untold prequel story, well, there's a chance the new movie could be a prequel that explores the origins of the Matrix, digging into parts of the story we haven't seen before. Given the tentative title, many people expect it to pick up where the first 4 films left off, especially since The Matrix Resurrections ended on a bit of a cliffhanger with Neo and Trinity stepping into new roles. But here's a twist. Instead of continuing the current storyline, the movie might go back in time to explore the creation of the Matrix. The origins of the Matrix are super intriguing, from Morpheus's stories about the machine war to the architect's hints that Neo wasn't the first one. These elements suggest there's a rich backstory that hasn't been fully explored. While Neo and Trinity have been the main focus of the past films, a prequel could offer a fresh take and delve into some of these fascinating backstory elements. Imagine a prequel set when the first one had to make the tough choice of selecting people to help rebuild Zion. Seeing a powerful figure like Neo make such a dramatic decision would not only add depth to the franchise, but also bring a darker edge that's been missing since 1999. It might be a bold move, but it could be just what The Matrix needs to break away from its original legacy. On the flip side, a Matrix prequel could sidestep the confusing issues from The Matrix Resurrections. While the latest film brought some fresh and interesting elements to the franchise, It also shook up a lot of established lore, which led to some controversy. It redefined Neo and Trinity's dynamic, changed how we view characters like Smith and Morpheus, and introduced a new conflict within the machine hierarchy that resulted in Zion's destruction, despite its supposed salvation in The Matrix Revolutions. These changes and retcons have significantly altered the franchise's core and created a lot of contradictions that make it tricky to move forward with a sequel. Instead of grappling with these issues, a prequel could explore The Matrix's origins and provide a clean slate. With the details given by the architect and Morpheus, there's a solid foundation for an exciting story that avoids the complications of the newer lore. This approach could simplify the narrative and avoid getting bogged down by the franchise's increasingly complex backstory. A Matrix prequel is the ideal way to reboot the franchise after The Matrix Resurrections. The series could really use a fresh start. Not only would a prequel offer a new perspective on the Matrix story, but it's clear that the franchise needs a full reset. The Matrix Resurrections was a box office flop, earning only $159.2 million against a $190 million budget, making it the least successful film in the series. Despite some praise for its bold storytelling, the movie didn't resonate with audiences, who seemed uninterested in continuing Neo and Trinity's story. Given the poor reception and financial disappointment, a complete overhaul is the best way to revitalize the franchise. A prequel would allow the series to move away from the old characters and storylines, offering a fresh approach that could reignite interest. This shift to exploring the origins of the Matrix could be just what the franchise needs to get back on track. And lastly, diving into the story of the first one could actually make the original Matrix trilogy even better. Showing how humans dealt with the first Matrix could be a thrilling way to reignite interest in the franchise. Not only would it be an engaging story on its own, but exploring the origins of the Matrix could also add depth to the original trilogy by drawing interesting parallels with Neo's choices and personality. A prequel could bring a tragic edge to the narrative, revealing how a powerful hero failed in his fight against an oppressive regime, setting the stage for future generations to succeed. This concept is rich ground for sci-fi, and while the execution of the Star Wars prequels had its flaws, they showed how exploring earlier character arcs can enrich the original movies. For The Matrix, a prequel could finally delve into the foundation and structure of Zion, which were frustratingly left out of the original trilogy. Although a prequel would come with its own challenges, it's an exciting way for The Matrix 5 to move forward. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. What are your thoughts on a Matrix prequel? Do you think exploring the origins of the Matrix could enhance the original trilogy and bring new life to the franchise? Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.